Hey guys, how we doing? A little bit of a rainy day. And as you can see by the puddling, it was raining pretty good about 10-15 minutes ago. One of the projects I'm working on is I picked up this Honda last fall. It's a 5013 four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer, mower deck. Decent tractor. It's more of like a compact tractor than a garden tractor. I think it's like an 89, something like that. 13 horse, water cooled. One of the problems with this tractor is one of the back tires keeps going down, and the tires themselves are rather expensive because they are unique to this tractor, and being four-wheel drive is supposed to be the right size. Try changing them out, you can cause transmission problems. So, without further ado, we are putting a tube in a tubeless tire, and I figured that would be something I can go make a video of. So what we have is we went to Tractor Supply, and there's the bag from it. Here's the tube. Says it's good from 13 to 15 inch tire. And there's our tire on the floor right now, again, getting ready. Still got air in it, somewhat air in it. But you can see the sidewalls on the cracking. So it's leaking through the sides. I was going to slime it, but I figured, yeah, I'll put a tube in it, what the hell. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the thing off the bead, and we'll start with the fact that looking at the rim, you can see this side of the rim has about 2 or 3 inches before it falls down in the well. And on the back side of the tire, you look at it, it's maybe about 1.5 inches before it falls in the well. So this is the side that we want to break the bead on. So I am going to set you guys up on the stand, and we're going to go do that with a manual breaker, bead breaker. And that bead breaker, it's just like a Harbor Freight deal. You want about, I don't know, about 5 pounds of pressure in the tire. Probably let a little bit of that out. Yeah. Because if it's got no air in it, it just makes it that much harder to get the bead. So I'm going to pop the stem out of that, what I'm doing right now. About right there, just enough to kind of, so the tire kind of holds shape. Because what happens is the sidewall will be so soft that it'll just kind of mush down on the tire. Let me flip the lens around, make sure you guys are in view. Yeah, you look pretty good. There. Now this guy just has a ratchet on top. There you go. Now that sucker's popped. With the air out of it, you can see how bad that tire is. Can you see that cracking right there? Going around. So now want to get that up over the lip to get the tube in there. And what I have is a couple of screwdrivers. Got the handles painted orange. What I did was I ground the tips down so they're nice and smooth. So they're kind of like tire spoons. And anytime you're working with anything that has a tube in it, you gotta watch it, you don't pinch it. So, put my foot down, and I'm trying to get this part of the tire down into the smallest part of the rim on the inside, so that way I can feed it up and over. If not, you're just gonna be fighting yourself. So, having said that, sometimes a little soap doesn't hurt either. I'm trying to take as little bite as possible each time. Once you get past a certain point, they'll just fall off. building the sweat. Hold on a minute. Those damn sticky days, you know. Where were we? I remember when I was a kid. In school they had like show and tell. And one of the everybody had a, it wasn't show and tell, it was like a class project. You had to go in front of the class and do something. It's kind of funny. One of the mine was doing a bicycle tire, and I went through the whole thing, and in the end of it you're sitting in front of the class. I had a bicycle tire with me, a pump and everything. I do the whole thing. I think I was probably 10 years old. And I pumped the tire up. And the tire goes flat. I pinched the rim. I pinched the tube. One thing that can be an issue is from putting a tube into a tubeless rim is where the valve stem kind of pokes out. The problem being sometimes it will want to sit in a different spot. Some of them have valve stems that have threads on them. You could actually bolt it into place. I wish I had that kind of tube instead of this one, but we're going to see how this works. If it's really far out, what you could do is leave that valve stem right where it is, and then just drill another hole in the rim where the valve stem wants to be. I'm going to fluff that tube up a little bit and just kind of see. That's about the size it's going to be inside the rim. Actually, it doesn't look too bad as far as its location. Sometimes, you know, there could be more in or more out on it. Then that's all you would do is just go get yourself a step bit and take it and drill yourself a new spot in the rim. Leave that valve, the other valve stem in there, just to fill the hole. And this is what I'm using to pull the center of the stem out. Just a like a 4-in-1 tool for valves, for tire valves. So now we're going to let the air back out of that. And I get myself a pair of wire cutters, and I'm going to cut that other stem out of that. That numb's going to want to fall in. Try to reach in and grab it. Another part of it. Okay. So the biggest pain in the ass is probably going to be trying to get that valve stem back into that hole. So I'm going to make that the first thing I do. Trigger my setting. Be a lot easier if I pick the table up. Pick the tire up and put it on the bench, but I don't want to move the camera around. Now this thing, if you look at it, has a center on it. You can thread it. I'm just going to go put that on the valve stem. If you had the tube that had the threads on it, just put a nut on it. That'll hold it. But if you'll notice, now that's kind of holding my valve stem in place. And we're going to work on feeding that tube back in there. Okay. I have a tire machine over here in the corner, and it's got the brush with the soapy water that you guys can just kind of hit it with whatever you want. Try to stay away from oils. You just want something that's going to dry up a little bit later on, because you don't want to spin the tire in the rim, you know. That just help for a little bit of reassembly. And then you're just going to do the reverse, which you just saw. Now this guy has plenty of room to keep it from pinching the tube. Some of them you just got to be really careful of, because you don't have that much room. You just want to be careful when you're flipping this back over is when you're going to do the damage. Blocking your view. Sometimes even three spoons help you. Generally you can kind of get it with two though. If it's really tight, you'll need three. And again, I'm just trying to take as little bite as possible. One more should do it. There we go. Alright. Now, you just want to be careful that you don't lose the valve stem. You could clamp it, and we're actually going to do that. I'm going to grab it with a little baby pair of vice grips, just to be safe. Because sometimes when you start putting the air back in it, it will want to take a different shape and pull itself back out of there. So you just got to watch you don't kill it. You don't want to damage the throat of that stem either, because that's going to defeat the purpose. Alright. So, we don't have a stem in there, I don't think. So we're going to go put the inside back in it, again using that little 4-in-1 tool. You gotta go till you pop that bead back on. There she goes. And on this, it really doesn't take that much. It's probably at 15 psi. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the tire. What you're going to find out is that when you are filling it though, because it was a tubeless tire, it's going to push some air out through the sides, because it was already a sealed tire before, so it's kind of hard for it to find the room. You just got to... It's hissing a little bit. Stop yet? Yeah, now it's stopped. But you got to understand that it's a sealed tire, so the air is still trying to escape between the tube and the tire, just like if you would have filled it before. But that's got her. She's ready to rock and roll, and a lot better than doing slime, because it makes a lot less of a mess and doesn't damage the tire like the rim in the tire like the slime does. So I will pop that back on the tractor, and we're good to go. One thing I should add to that too is when you have it, say if you had an issue where your tire went flat, you may want to scope the inside of it, make sure you didn't have any nails or screws sticking in it. This is just because I knew the bead was rotten, but you just double check, make sure that you're not putting a tube in a tire that has an issue with a nail or a tack or whatever. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care.